You know how you can block someone online? Simple, right? But what if you could do that in real life? Just block them. With a pair of glasses? It sounds like sci-fi, but we're getting there. And today, we're going to break down this huge battle brewing over the future of your face, and more importantly, your privacy. And look, it all kicks off with stories, just like this one. This isn't some made-up scenario for a TV show. This is a real headline. Think about it, a situation where privacy isn't just a nice-to-have, it's absolutely essential. And it was potentially just gone, violated by a device that looks exactly like a normal pair of glasses. This is a crazy example, but it perfectly shows what's really at stake here. Okay, so let's be real. We're way past the days of those clunky, obvious spy cams. The ability to secretly record video, to capture audio of anyone, anywhere. It's not just possible now, it's stylish, it's affordable, and it could be sitting on the face of the person right next to you. So you might be wondering, how big of a deal is this really? Is this just a niche tech thing? Well, let's dive into our first section and look at the sheer scale of this new unblinking eye on all of us. And listen, you've got to get the idea out of your head that this is just some niche gadget for Silicon Valley tech bros. This market is set to absolutely explode. We're talking about a jump from around 500,000 units today to over 15 million by 2030. That's not a trend, that's a tidal wave. This tech is going mainstream and it's happening way faster than you think. So what makes this so different from just, pulling out your phone to record? Well, everything. These glasses are designed to be invisible, to just blend in. You can live stream your entire life to Facebook or Instagram, and get this, there's no obvious little red light to let people know they're being recorded. And here's the kicker. All that data they're hoovering up, your face, your conversations, everything, it's being fed directly to corporate AI to make them smarter. And leading the charge, no surprise here, is Meta. But you have to understand, they're not just selling a piece of hardware, they're selling you an all-access pass to their vision of reality. And you gotta admit, Meta's pitch is really good. I mean, imagine it, capturing a perfect moment without having to grab your phone, live streaming your adventures totally hands-free, or having an AI in your ear that can translate any language in real time. It's powerful stuff. They're even setting up these cool pop-up stores to make it all feel normal, even trendy. The features are amazing, no doubt, but what's the real price of admission? Yeah, about that price, this quote from tech commentator Mario Nawfal just nails it. Meta's glasses, Meta's rules. It's simple. When you use their device, you're on their turf, playing by their rules. And their new rules that your voice, your data, is now just training material for their AI. So what does that actually mean? It means Meta's policy now says they can store and analyze your voice recordings for up to a year. But here's the most important part. There's no opt-out. You can't just uncheck a box. It's either you agree to let them use your data or you don't get to use the cool AI features. That's the deal. Okay, but it's not all doom and gloom. There's another side to this coin. A counter movement, if you will. A totally different philosophy that says, hey, maybe smart glasses can be useful without being creepy. This is the idea of a quieter kind of tech. And a perfect example of this is a product called the Even Realities G2. What's so wild about these glasses isn't what they do, it's what they've deliberately chosen not to do. Their whole design is basically a protest for privacy. So check this out. First off, no camera at all, which means, you can't secretly record people. Simple as that. There are no external speakers either, so your notifications and calls are for your ears only. All the information pops up on a little private display inside the lens that only you can see. The whole point is to make you more productive without making everyone around you feel super awkward and on edge. So let's just put these two philosophies head to head. On one side, you've got Meta's Ray-Bans. Their whole game is social first, it's about content capture, looking outward. And on the other side, you've got the G2, which is all about your own productivity and privacy. It's completely inward-facing. And that fundamental difference in philosophy leads to totally different key features. For Meta, the whole point, the star of the show, is the camera and live streaming. For Even Realities, it's that private, internal display. It's the same category of tech, but they're taking two completely different roads. But this whole debate, this choice between features and privacy, it isn't just about glasses. Not really. It plugs right into a much bigger problem we all have, this massive trust deficit with big tech. And to really get this, we need to talk about something you've definitely run into before: bloatware. You know what I'm talking about? All that useless junk software that's pre-installed on your new phone or laptop that you can't get rid of. It's the perfect example of a company basically saying, our agenda is more important than your experience. Let's take a real-world case study, Samsung's AppCloud. This thing is classic bloatware. It gets pushed on you when you're setting up your brand new phone. It's linked to a company called ironSource, which has a pretty shady history of installing software without being super clear about it. The app is hard to say no to, the privacy policy is buried somewhere you'll never find, and, big surprise, it's caused a huge backlash from users. And that right there, that's the real issue, isn't it? If a company is already willing to force a sketchy app onto your phone, why on earth would you trust them with a device that can literally see and hear everything you do? This skepticism around smart glasses, it's not paranoia, it's been earned. So all of this distrust, it brings us to the final part of this, and honestly, the most important part. Where do we go from here? Because the answer isn't just about buying the right pair of glasses. It's about all of us redrawing the boundaries for what we'll accept from technology. And this whole idea of setting new boundaries, it's not just a tech thing, it's happening everywhere. I mean, look at this quote from a text exchange that went viral. It's a younger employee basically telling their boss that their expectations are unreasonable and toxic. It's a total rejection of the old way of doing things. And that makes you wonder, right? Is the pushback we're seeing against invasive tech like this part of the exact same cultural shift? As we start demanding more respect and better boundaries from our bosses, are we also starting to demand the same thing from our gadgets? And I think that really is the path forward. Look, choosing a privacy-focused product is great, it's a start, but the real long-term solution is for us as a culture, as a society, to agree on a brand new social contract for how technology gets to operate in our lives. So what would that new social contract look like? Well, it would be built on a few core ideas. Number 1, you need clear, obvious consent to be recorded, no exceptions. Number 2, total transparency from these companies. What data are you collecting and exactly what are you doing with it? Number 3, we need tech that is actually designed from the ground up to respect personal space. And maybe the biggest one of all, we need a culture that collectively decides that our own privacy is way more important than someone else's Instagram story. So I'll leave you with this. That idea we started with, blocking people in real life, it sounds like it's ripped straight from an episode of Black Mirror. I know. But the tech to do it is closer than you think, and it forces us to ask a really tough question. If you had that power, if you could literally edit your boss or your ex out of your field of view, would you? And what kind of world do we start to build when we can do that? Definitely something to chew on.
Thanks for watching. Before your Wi-Fi drops, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Stay sharp, stay curious, and keep guarding the trends.